These are some of the world's most legendary athletes. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, but bear with me. I've traveled halfway across the world to meet them in a remote corner of Mexico. Legend has it that the Raramuri are the best endurance runners in the world. And their super skill? Covering ultramarathon distances in some of the roughest terrain on Earth in sandals.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
So I'm here to find out what their secret is. How do they train? What superfoods keep them fueled?
My homemade pinole.
And most importantly, can they teach us how to become stronger and more resilient? I want to challenge myself and see if I too can run like the Raramuri. I'm Eva Zubek, and I'm an adventure filmmaker and YouTuber. My mission is to show you the powerful potential hardwired into the human DNA and help you unleash it for a healthier, happier, and wilder life. This is Superskilled.
Okay, ready to go. This is the last time that we see a comfortable bed, a constant supply of electricity, and running water for the next 6 days. Best job in the world.
We were heading out to one of the most remote places in Mexico, the traditional lands of the indigenous Raramuri people, known as the Barrancas del Cobre, or the Copper Canyon.
This is the Copper Canyon. I've been wanting to come out here for years. I first read about it in a book called Born to Run, which is like every runner's Bible. And I can't believe I'm finally here. It's just so amazing.
It's a vast, scarcely inhabited stretch of wilderness that at first sight seems intent on pushing out anyone who might be foolish enough to venture inside. We're on one of the only paved paths through the canyon, a rundown road that winds its way between massive boulders and rockfalls.
I can't believe places like this exist and we don't know about them. How did I not know about this rock? This is like the Mount Everest of rocks.
As we drove deeper into the canyon, we spotted some people by the side of the road, so we stopped to see what they were up to.
Are the others coming with us?
It turned out that they were all Raramuri locals coming back home from a grocery run to town. Hitchhiking is a common way to get around here, but cars can be few and far between. So, of course, we offered to pick them up.
This is so different from, I think, how most of us live, right? I mean, these guys were waiting here by the side of the road for about an hour before we picked them up. And they're just hitching a ride back home. Seems so simple. I've been on a lot of crazy roads in my life, but this is easily one of the most dangerous roads I have ever been on. And it really explains why the Copper Canyon is so inaccessible, because in order to get here, it's such a long drive. Rockfall everywhere, treacherous curves, blind spots. It's absolutely wild.
One by one, our hitchhiker friends started getting off.
Bye.
For this couple, the real journey home was only just beginning.
¿Cuánto tiempo para tu casa? ¿Cuánto tiempo? ¿Cómo?
3 horas.
3 horas?
Sí.
So it's going to take them another 3 hours to get home. ¿En cuánto kilogramos? Todos. 50. He's carrying 50 kilograms in his bag. 50 kg of flour and other necessities for 3 hours through the canyon, across the river, up the mountain to their house. Wow, mucho fuerte.
And this is Lorena. She happened to be going to the same village as us and offered to show us the way. Eventually, we pulled off to the side of the road for what I thought would be a quick pit stop. But there wasn't a gas station or store in sight.
We're actually getting off here. This is it. We literally just stopped by the side of the road. I have no idea where we are. We're in the middle of this ginormous canyon, and this is where we're getting off. Going where? Where do you go from here? Where do we go from here?
See that top? Okay, right over the top of that, and then kind of over the top of another thing, and maybe kind of over the top of another thing, and then we'll get there.
Easy.
Yeah, easy. Like, I hope we'll make it before dark or the rain. It's being some crazy storms.
If we wanted to reach the village before nightfall, we would have to cover 2 miles and climb the equivalent of 200 stories within 2 hours. So we really had to hustle. But Lorena took it to a whole new level.
How are we supposed to keep up with her? She's already all the way down. Lorena! Wait for us.
The Copper Canyon is 4 times the size of the Grand Canyon, and I was starting to get a taste of the scale. The Raramuri are the indigenous people of this region, but as their lands became occupied by the Spanish conquistadores starting in the 16th century, they retreated deeper and deeper into the most inaccessible parts of the canyon.
Oh, wow.
They've remained there in isolation and were never conquered by any intruders. I've looked up to the Raramuri since I started running years ago, so being welcomed by them felt like a true honor. And what's even better is that they've agreed to let me go on a run with them. And in true Raramuri style, that means an ultramarathon. I've done ultras before, but I have a feeling this one will be different.
Buenas.
¿Habla español?
Un poquito.
Un poquito.
Un poquito.
On our way to the village, we ran into Patrocinio. He's a champion endurance runner and our host.
Hasta su casa, bienvenido a casa, ahí está, ya cerquita ya.
Gracias.
He also happens to be a cobbler, but not in the traditional sense. You'll see what I mean soon enough. Anyway, he was off to run some errands in the canyon, but assured us that his house was just around the corner.
I would rate this hike as very difficult. But to these guys, this is just their front yard. This is what they do every single day.
But finally, we made it, just in time, just before sunset.
Look at this place. It's so magical up here. Wow. Look at that view. Amazing.
Patrocinio's wife, Aurelia, had freshly baked tortillas and creamy nopales waiting for us on the open fire. Although we had just met, she made us feel like we were old friends coming back home. As for me, I was ready to get some rest before one of the biggest adventures of my life, running an ultramarathon alongside some of the world's best endurance runners. The next morning, the family wanted to show me a couple of things that would help me with my upcoming race.
I'm sitting here with Aurelia this beautiful morning, and she's about to cook us some of the traditional Raramuri superfood, which is called pinole. Pinole, right? Pinole. It's basically what the locals here eat to keep them fueled on really long runs and hikes across these mountains.
To put it very simply, pinole is just roasted and ground maize.
It's like popcorn. It's literally just popping like popcorn in a microwave.
But for centuries,
I'm telling you, it's popcorn.
cultures all across the American continent have used it as a nutrient-dense superfuel. Think high-end, single-ingredient organic protein shake. For the Raramuri, it's their staple running food, and Delia and Aurelia thought it would be a good idea if I learned how to make it. They said all I had to do was grind down some corn. I mean, how hard could it be?
¿Cómo? Ayudarme. Así, hands like this. Okay, like this. See? Okay. She's just laughing. Look, I'm developing my own technique here. It's hard because you need to apply a lot of pressure. So you're kind of like working out your arms, your shoulders, your core as well.
I was starting to get a picture of just how physically demanding it is to live out here. The hike home, the food prep. It seems like they're constantly working out, and I haven't even done any actual running yet.
¿Es bien? ¿No bien?
Sí, está bien, nomás que más fino.
Más fino? Okay, all right, boss.
So I kept grinding.
Bien o no bien?
Que más fino.
Más fino.
And grinding.
Look, I'm getting there. Más fino?
Más fino.
Until finally,
¿Listo? Yes! High five. ¿Cuántos vasos de pinole es?
Creo que un.
Un! Solo uno?
Sí.
All that work for one single cup of pinole.
but it's worth every single ounce of effort because this drink is truly supercharged.
Oh.
So how is it any different from regular popcorn? First, this is heirloom maize, real non-GMO stuff. Second, this way of processing it makes a carb that's super dense and bioavailable. That's just a fancy way of saying that it's a slow-burning fuel that's perfect for releasing a steady flow of energy.
It literally tastes like, imagine if you took some popcorn and ground it down and mixed it with water. All right, Josh, want to try?
Really? All right, here we go.
Go for it. And?
It's good. It's exactly like popcorn and water.
Isn't it?
Makes me think twice about the small fortune I've spent on designer protein shakes. Fueling secret? Check. On to the gear.
Patrocinio has very kindly agreed to make me a pair of the Raramuri style running sandals, which is so exciting. So let's go and see how he does it.
Patrocinio is a man of many talents. He has traveled to the US for races, he's a violin maker, and one of the most sought-after cobblers in the area. But the shoes he makes are nothing like the sneakers you'd see at your average gym.
¿Por qué no usan la gente los zapatos para correr como Adidas o Nike?
Nosotros pensábamos que era más mejor para correr el zapato de tenis, ¿no? Pero no, nada. Es que nosotros no estamos acostumbrados, porque nosotros tenemos muy ancha pie, y entonces por eso como tenis están muy apretados, y entonces no tiene lugar como nosotros. Cada cuando brinca abre, no. Ajá, entonces zapato tenis, porque nomás lo tiene así juntado, amarrados, y entonces yo creo que eso pasó.
Overly bouncy or tight shoes can interfere with our natural running gait by pampering us too much. Over time, our foot muscles and tendons atrophy and weaken, making them less able to absorb the impact stress of running. A recipe for injury. Running in minimalist footwear allows the feet to flex and spread to distribute the pressure when hitting the ground, therefore making the foot stronger.
This is the sole of my future running shoes. This is like 4x4 quality, I swear. Hopefully it'll give me 4x4 abilities as well.
Yep, that's a used car tire. While he was working, I asked Patrocinio to tell me a little bit about his life.
Cuando yo tenía 7 años, de 8 años, la verdad, aquí por todo lado del pueblo indígena hicieron mucho carrera. Yo aprendí, sí, corrí, pero la verdad yo no fui tan buen corredor.
He says he's not a great runner, but you should take that with a grain of salt.
Pero me ocupaban la gente para ayudarle, me pedían apoyo. Bueno, ¿sabes qué, Patrocinio? Échame la mano para organizar una carrera y así cosas me decían. Bueno, pues ándales, cómo no, así te ayudo. Pero no soy tan bueno para correr, pero organizar cualquier cosa sí es bueno y me gusta mucho.
That's good to hear because Patrocinio has kindly agreed to recruit some of the best female runners in the canyon to run with me. But first, let's try on my brand new sandals or huaraches.
Okay, wow, this is exciting. Oh, like that, okay. Ooh. That's a good snug fit. Okay. Sí, es cómodo. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, cool. Wow. Oh, sí. Lindo. How is it? How do I look? Fit check. Oh, they're so cute. And actually, they're really comfortable. I mean, I didn't think I'd ever say that about a pair of shoes made out of car tires and a little bit of leather, but they're really comfy. This is super cool. I'm gonna go and test these babies out then. Let's do it.
With my brand new huaraches ready, Patrocinio offered to share some Raramuri training secrets with me.
So I'm not really sure what to expect of this training session. I mean, first of all, I'm gonna be running in sandals, which is pretty new. And second of all, Patrocinio's got a stick and a hoop in his hand, and he said that that's what we're gonna be training with, which I don't really know what to do with that. ¿Qué es eso?
No, estos son para lo que usan por los corredores mujeres. Y este palito, esto es para, bueno, este se va a quedar al suelo. Entonces ya lo vas a agarrar y lo vas a tirar así.
Okay.
Patrocinio wanted to teach me how to play the traditional Raramuri game of ariwete.
Oh.
The rules are simple. There's a hoop and a stick. You pick up the hoop with the stick, throw it as far as you can down the trail, chase after it, and repeat.
Oh, this feels really dangerous.
Ariwete is specifically a women's game, and the races can go on for hours, with girls and women of all ages competing. The first team to run a predetermined distance wins.
I lost the hoop. Oh no, where is it?
Clearly, I needed some more practice.
Basically, the girls play this game in teams. Whew. So you can imagine that it gets really competitive, and when you're out on a trail like this, I mean, it's like a whole body workout. Whew. I've been playing this game for like 5 minutes, and I'm already exhausted. It's like I've been running for 2 hours. You're running, you're bending over, you're picking things up, you're turning around, you're scrambling, you're going downhill, uphill. You're looking around, trying to make sure that you're not losing the little hoop, the tiny, tiny little hoop. Es muy difícil.
Muy difícil. Haz cuenta como que tiras piedra y entonces más fuerte el músculo lo que es. Todo lado el pie, el músculo y esto es lo que...
Hey!
Not entirely satisfied with my performance,
Así libre, libre.
Patrocinio thought I could use some extra training on the local trails.
Agarra largo paso.
Largo paso.
Sí, largo paso.
Longer steps.
Te rinde para la tierra para correr. Eso, muy bien.
You know, running in sandals is so different from running in like normal running shoes, because with sandals you have like zero support, zero cushioning. So you become like hyper conscious of how you're placing your feet, super minimalist, pure, raw running. That's kind of how it feels.
I was half expecting to learn some actual endurance secrets today, but it seems like a lot of the training just boils down to moving your body in different ways and running, running, and running. For now, though, it's time to rest up, because tomorrow I start my next mission. We got up just before dawn with one goal: to assemble a local team of women who would run an ultramarathon with me, Raramuri style. Honestly, I was getting anxious. Patrocinio has been organizing local races for years, so he was clearly the best person to help me reach my goal. But even with his family along for support, I just wasn't sure if anyone would actually sign up, because there wasn't really much in it for them. except the joy of running with this crazy foreigner. So yeah, not sure how this is going to go.
So our mission to bring runners together for tomorrow's big race is quite a challenge. Basically, phones are completely useless around here, which means that we have to go house to house, asking people if they actually want to come along tomorrow. And Patrocinio's just over there at the neighbor's home, trying to see if they'd be willing to come. I'm not sure. It's not looking very good. I don't think they're gonna come.
We got our first no of the day. And then another.
Just sitting here negotiating very gently.
And another.
Keep going.
But look, I get it. These women are busy, and most of them have more important things to do than come running with me.
Maybe we'll have better luck next time.
But soon, it seemed like the tide started turning.
See? Oh no. See?
We got our first yes, and from there, it was smooth sailing.
Okay, she's putting her name down on our list.
We hiked all day, about 10 miles in total, and approached about 15 women.
Okay, I think we managed to get one.
And soon enough, we had enough runners on our list to call it a day.
So, it's ocho?
Sí, 8.
Yes! We've got our 8-person running team for tomorrow.
8 feels like a good number, enough to feel like a real team with women of different ages from the community, but not so many that were tripping over each other. Serafina here was the last person to join the team. I was curious about her running experience.
Wow. So Serafina here has actually ran the infamous 80-kilometer Caballo Blanco ultramarathon, which is absolutely wild.
The annual Caballo Blanco race started in 2003 as a fundraiser for the community. Locals and foreigners alike trek 50 grueling miles through the Copper Canyon, so Serafina having run it is quite impressive. I was so relieved we managed to get the race list sorted by the end of the day. The big question now is, will they all turn up tomorrow?
So I think we managed to collect our entire running team today, which is amazing. I'm so excited, but also feeling a little bit anxious about tomorrow because it's gonna be a really big day of running out here in the canyon. So yeah, a few hours of sleep and off to the races, I guess. All right, good night, you guys. Okay, the big goal for today is to run an ultramarathon in the canyon. And an ultramarathon is anything longer than 26 miles. And in this canyon, that's actually quite a lot because you're going up and down the mountain. So it's gonna be a tough one for sure. Okay, ready to go. Let's do this thing. Oh. It's time to go! Woo-hoo! To the mountain!
The first mission of the day is to pick up Serafina en route to the start of the race course, which is on top of a local mesa. This means 5 miles and over 2,000 feet of climbing in one go, and that's just the appetizer.
Okay, this is Serafina's house. I wonder if she's in. I hope she's still coming along with us. ¿Está Serafina? Allá? Te veo arriba. ¿Sí? Okay. Yes! She's coming along. So I'm gonna head on up and I'll meet everybody at the mesa.
The mesa is where the real challenge begins. Once we're up there, we'll continue running in an attempt to cover a distance of 27 miles today.
There they are. I think they're waiting for me. Hey there!
Miraculously, everybody had turned up. Over the next few hours, I'll be running alongside these women on their home turf in excruciating heat with an elevation gain of 3,500 feet on a high and exposed mesa. All in a pair of sandals made out of car tires. Yeah, this is not your typical fun run.
So the girls are raising the stakes. They're all having pinole, which means I'll have some too.
See, this is new for me. I usually carry nutritional gels for a race this long, but here I'll be fueled only by pinole.
Oh my god, it tastes so good.
As we drink, Patrocinio explains our route.
You know, I'm generally a pretty slow runner, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to keep up with these girls, but I'm just one of those people who love running for the experience of running. I love it for the views, for the atmosphere, so I'm just excited to be here. And oh, we're going! Okay! I did not see that coming.
Yep, and just like that, they're off, and I'm already behind. It takes me some time to settle into my pace, but in just a few minutes, I've caught up.
I'm out here wearing all of my technical running gear. Meanwhile, these girls are just out here in full-length skirts, jelly shoes, sandals. Just, you know, out for a little cruise. I used to think I was a pretty good runner until I came to Mexico and ran with the Raramuri. You know, sometimes you hear people describe runners as like light-footed, and I never really know what that meant until I came out here. These girls are the definition of light-footedness.
So it makes sense that the word Raramuri actually translates to light-footed, or those who run well.
Meanwhile, I'm here trying not to twist an ankle every time I step on a rock. I am sweating. Woof.
It felt so good to be running in a pack, and I desperately wanted to keep up with everyone. But about 15 miles in, the heat started to take its toll.
Oh my god, why did I ever think that running an ultramarathon would be a good idea? Especially out here in this weather. Oh man, I think I'm probably getting dehydrated really fast because it's so hot out here. I'm sweating profusely, talking into the camera. Don't try this at home, kids. This is pretty tough.
Quitting was in the back of my mind, I'll admit. But the incredible endurance demonstrated by these women encouraged me to push forward. And the views definitely helped.
Take a look at this. That is just otherworldly. I can't believe that this place exists on our little planet. You know, one of the things that I find so inspiring about the Raramuri is the fact that they just have this incredibly active lifestyle. Ultimately, maybe there's no big hacks or secrets to being an amazing endurance athlete. Maybe they are incredible endurance athletes and ultra runners because of their lifestyle. In order to go see your friends or neighbors, you have to cross an entire mountain. This is their lifestyle, and it enables them to be really strong and really resilient. Vamos, vamos! Hey! Woo-hoo!
Yeah!
Okay. Oh my God. We're done. High five. High five, Angelita. High five. Whoa. Bien trabajo.
By the time we finished, I was exhausted. But it was the first time I'd run that far in sandals and without using any of my usual nutrition packs. So that pinole must have helped, I guess.
was hard. That was hard. I think I'm gonna sleep for 2 days. But first, a very cold shower. Whew. Oh, what a day this has been. I could really use a shower right now. These feet are dirty. Anyway, the good news is, this is what we managed to achieve today. 27 miles and 3,500 feet of elevation gain, which I think is quite a bit. That's quite a serious distance. And I gotta say, it was tough. And I have such deep respect for the Raramuri way of life. They're such amazing athletes. They have to be living out here.
But they're not the only people doing incredible things in their everyday lives. And I can't wait to see who I meet next in this journey. After I collapse, that is.
All right, I'm gonna go in the bathhouse and take a little impromptu shower. Oh, everything hurts. Oh my God.